Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how you can come up with your AI offer, how to sell your AI offer, how to land your first client, everything about your whole business from A to Z, how to start with everything. I'm literally going over the fundamentals about the perfect offer, client acquisition, fulfillment, operations, how to make the content, how to get clients, everything from A to Z. I can call this video something like a full masterclass on how to land your first client, and this works for even beginners, people who don't have clients yet. And first of all, before we jump into the fundamental part, I want you to focus on the core beliefs, the core philosophy about time against money against goals, because this is one of the most important mindset frameworks like in the whole video. Most people think they're just paying either with their time or with their money, which is wrong belief, because you usually have three paths, and this works. You either pay with your money to invest in knowledge and shortcuts, you pay with your time and you try to figure out things alone, or you pay with your goals. Think about it, like we all have some goals in our life, and literally if we don't succeed in our goals, this means that we won't achieve our goals, and we are paying with our lifetime to never experience how life will feel when we get to those goals. So that's the whole point. Like the real cost of inaction is not wasted time, but it's a surrendered goal. Like I want you to think about this one as a skyscraper, because the skyscraper is literally your business. Like the foundation is your personal development, your mindset, your discipline, and your internal state. So like think about it, like a shallow foundation can only support a small building, which means small business, not getting where your goals are. But a wide, like with a deep foundation, can support a skyscraper. There is no amount of adding floors that's gonna change the limit imposed by the foundation. Like you cannot build a massively scaled business on a weak personal foundation. So I wanna touch like a few more topics here because it really makes sense, and you have to go through this in order to like create the offer, land the client, deliver work, get money, grow your business. The best way to fail in business is to have short-term thinking. So you're just setting goals for the next couple weeks, then you're very focused on the short-term goal to the point where you forget why you even started. The real problem is not the results, but like the time frame that you're using to evaluate them. Like short-term thinking leads to premature pivots, like strategy switching, and eventually quitting on things that would have worked if you had more patience, a bit more, like more volume, more time spent doing the tasks you have to do. Then the second thing is avoid risk. And basically if you're avoiding risks in your life, that's a big problem, because nothing, like almost nothing in your life is guaranteed except that. Like let's be honest. So no one can guarantee like a business outcome. What can be guaranteed is the outcome of not taking risks. So if you don't take any risks, then you will for a fact live a worse life. You understand? Like if you never give a shot, you won't really see where your true potential is. You won't understand how you can actually scale your business. Then another thing I want to talk about is what it really takes to succeed. Like we can frame this as a central equation, but basically your business problems can equal your personal problems. And finally, the last thing, like very important thing, the value of despair. Basically in business, you're going to go through ups and downs. And for example, the way it works is once you start working, you will be unclear. You won't really understand what to do, how to land your clients, how to make the offer and everything. Then you'll start to pick up things like as the weeks go, for example, from week 1 to week 2, you kind of understand what your offer can be. You try to find some systems that can work. You try to identify your ICP, which is great. But then like after you figure out some things, you understand how much work you'll actually need to do in order to get to your first client, then do the fulfillment. And once you understand how much it's gonna take, it's gonna feel hard. You're gonna feel demotivated. But then once in a while, like, and you get to a point where you see the results and you actually land your client and you're feeling these emotions, like high emotions of your business growing. But then you understand that you just climbed this one mountain and there is another one, bigger one. So this is gonna go in spiral, in cycles, like over and over again. So you really have to understand these fundamentals so you can actually go and scale your offer. Now let's talk about the perfect offer, because the real thing is that there is no perfect offer. Like nothing can be perfect and the offer is always going to change. So we can only see things from a perspective where we can combine a bad offer and a good offer. So a bad offer makes scaling feel like pushing a square-shaped rock up a hill. Like every aspect of the business is harder. This means basically the response rates are lower, the closing rates are lower, client acquisition cost is going to be higher, harder, churn rate will be higher, referrals non-existent, word of mouth, it's not going to happen, and scaling speed will be very slow. So that's what a bad offer will do, and what a good offer, like a strong offer, will do basically will do everything of what I mentioned, but in opposite way. So higher response rates, higher close rates, lower client acquisition cost, lower profit margins, higher churn rate, lower referrals, more frequent, more case studies, more money, more scaling. That's the whole idea. And the problem of making a bad offer is usually because people don't really understand who they actually help. Like they're either too vague or too broad, or they have the wrong profile. So that's the one thing, like not knowing who actually help. The second thing is not knowing what problem they actually solve. So they're just creating confusing generic content that's not really going to help anyone. They don't really know how to structure the content. They don't know how to structure their whole business. And the third thing is they're not being able to get clients tangible results. So this is a very big one. They're focusing on fixing stuff for their clients that won't really deliver anything tangible. So the correct response is to build an offer that actually is going to get you return on investment for your clients with the AI system you're going to build and what you're like genuinely proud to present to them. So now let's focus on the components of every offer. So component one is the person. So you have to answer like, who is your niche? Right now, if you're watching this video, you're probably into the AI space. The person watching this video is someone who is going to work in the AI space. Now the question you have to answer is, who exactly are you trying to serve? Like, you have to understand what their pain problems are. You have to understand what their deepest desires are, how they talk, how they think, what they want in their life, what they want with their business. And once you understand a lot of things about your ideal customer profile, then you can base your AI systems, your AI automations, and everything you provide for them based on their problems. You have to be very clear because, for example, an AI person can say, I make AI systems for coaches, but coaches, the word coaches is very broad, it's very vague. Like this is a category, it's not really a person. So that level of specificity makes you comparable to everyone else. Then we have the component two, the promise, like the outcome. You have to answer what specific tangible transformation are you committing to deliver. So this is not just I'm gonna fix your follow-up, like you should be more specific with the AI systems you will provide for the client in terms of like how many follow-ups are you gonna fix for them, what exactly will you save, like are you saving the cost, are you saving the time? You have to be very specific. For example, you can say, I can help you grow your business with AI automations, or you can say something like, I can help you book 3 to 5 qualified sales calls with my AI automations. So there is a big difference right here. Like in both ways, you're helping them grow their brand, but in the second way, you are being more specific and you're talking about something that's tangible. Then component 3 is the process. So your unique mechanism. So this is how you present your systems, because to be honest, your systems are just deliverables. For example, you can provide a follow-up sequence for the client. You can provide automations which will publish their content on their social media. But all of these things are just deliverables. These are N88 nodes, workflows, AI systems, and that's something that the client sees just as a number. It's not like a delivery tool. This is just a delivery tool. It's not a really mechanism, but you presenting this whole process for your client is the whole mechanism, like the unique mechanism in the whole process. So you have to focus on making the offer to be personalized for each client you have. You have to make sure that this offer, that this process, the systems, the stuff you build for them is actually personalized and specifically made for them. Because this is gonna make selling easier because the prospect already sees the value in it. It makes delivery better because you know exactly who you are serving and what the success looks like. And once you go through these 3 foundation segments, you can create something like, I help you enter your person's niche, achieve an outcome within time frame by your unique mechanism. So for example, this can be, I help content agency owners grow 10 to 25K per month within 16 months by optimizing their response rate for the cold traffic. And once you understand your ICP, once you create your offer, the only way you can actually start to getting clients is by showing your work online. So this part is very important, but from here, like once you create all the fundamentals into your business, you only have one option to get your client. You have outreach and you have content. The way we are doing this is basically outreach means you outreaching to someone cold. You're trying to find similar Instagram profiles, YouTube channels as your ICP, and then you're reaching out to those people, sending a cold email, cold outreach message, Loom video, whatever it is, as a way to approach them and to pitch your service. That's the first thing you can do. And the second thing you can do, or you can do both things, which I recommend you do both things, is you can do content as well. We're building our brand, showing our personality, trying to connect with the people as a personal brand. Since I'm making content on content marketing, I'm gonna mainly focus on how you can create the content and how you can land more clients. So most people once they start to focus on making content in order to land clients, they have very big expectations. Like they think that they can get a client just straight up from their content within like a week or a month by creating content. So what I'm really trying to say here is that the content you're creating will help you, the content that you're creating will help you with your personal brand, which is gonna directly help with your outreach. So by posting content, when you outreach to people, they will click on your profile, they will see that you have content, and they can connect with you as a person, which is directly helping your personal brand. And then once they see the value from the content, once you get their attention, they might be more interested into your services. And the whole idea of making the content is not just to talk to your ideal customer profile. Like most people also make this mistake where they're just focusing too much on their ideal customer profile, about their ICP, and they're making the content too specific to the point way wider of their ICP, to the point where it's very hard for the content to perform in order for the algorithm to push it to other people and to finally reach your ICP. So your goal should be to make content around your dream ideal customer profile. Now, you're probably gonna ask, like, what does this really mean? Well, your dream ideal customer profile is a person who is interested in the same things you are interested. Someone who likes you as a person. So for example, if you have the same interest as another guy, he will more likely relate with you just because you guys have the same interests. Now, think about it. For example, that guy sees another AI automation guy, but he's relating more with you since you guys have the same interests, and he's more likely to go and commit to your services rather than the other guy because you guys relate together by having the same interests. So you should definitely show your personality into the content as well, because it's called personal brand for a reason. It's not just to focus on the AI automations, AI systems, and all the things you're making around your content. If I can be more clear about this one, I would say that you can structure your content around 70-30, which means 70% of the content can be about a broader AI niche, AI things like AI news, AI systems, just so people can see that you're relevant into the AI space. But in the 70%, you're also making some broad content about yourself, like you as a person, like your values, your beliefs, your style, your interests, so that you can show your personality. And the other 30% of the content can be directly aimed at your ideal customer profile. So you can explain the workflows, you can be more specific, you can use like the same language your ideal customer profile uses. And the whole idea of this is basically that, like, with the content you're making, you will attract a lot of new people. And then those people will be qualified by the content you're making. Around 70% of your content will attract new people, and then 30% of the content will qualify those people. But also keep in mind, if your content is based around your dream customer profile, that means that someone who finds you interesting, someone who is really enjoying, and someone who is entertained by your content, they're more likely to commit to the services you provide, since you never know down the line like how people change. For example, someone might not be interested into AI systems, maybe they don't need an AI automation in their business right now, but if they just relate to you and if they just watch the content, once they need AI systems and AI automations, they will always remember you as the AI automation guy, and they will just reach out to you. So that's the whole process of the content in your business. And if you just focus on these two things, client acquisition, which is the outreach, and the content part, you will for sure land your first client. Then once you land your first clients, you focus on client delivery. Now also, I'm not really going in depth on this part as well here, because I'm mostly talking about the content part and the importance of content, but you really have to see the whole process visually. You really have to understand that the whole process and the way this works is step by step. And if you just focus on the inputs, like the inputs you have to create every single day, you will get to the outcome. So you just focus on doing outreach, doing content, you land your first client, you focus on the client delivery. And the reason you want to first focus on the first client without chasing for the second client and getting more clients is because you want to create and get a good case study. You want to provide good results for your first client. And once you get that case study, everything will be much easier and landing the second client will get better. But the whole idea is to just focus on delivering results for the first client. So later on, later down the road, you can actually use that case study, promote it in your own content, you can run ads. And once you start to, and once you get into the flow of delivering results for clients, everything will be much easier. Since you already have some systems, some workflows, templates, and you can just reuse it for the other clients. But basically, that's the whole idea. Like, if you can take anything from this video, you have to focus on the 3 parts, which are first setting the fundamentals, focusing on creating the perfect offer and finding your ICP, and then focusing on the client acquisition, which is content and outreach. So those 3 things are the main things that you have to focus in order to achieve your goals and actually get your first AI service clients. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.